We focus on what's trending or what's important. This is why we can't solve black issues. We focus on poor people when there is an event South Africa has to host, because we don't want the people we are inviting to see that South Africa has poor people. We focus on genocide when, like, the case is involving someone prominent or someone so beautiful that the internet believes that person shouldn't have died. There are people who are dying even at this moment. There is a girl who was killed. There is a girl who's been raped.
This is the Born Freeze podcast. This is the Born.
Welcome back to another episode of the Born Freeze podcast. We are
Welcome
back. Oh, we are back. If it's your first time joining us, thank you so much for joining us. We've been waiting for you. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you.
Where have you been?
If you've been tuning in, thank you so much for always tuning in. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. Just thank you for everything. But if you're new, please don't forget to click there on the subscribe button, like the video, share it with your friends, because it's gonna be fire on top of fire. This episode was proudly brought to you by LANI Water. They're coming back with a bang in 2022. And they're looking for young people who wanna earn some cash.
Yeah, make some Zaga.
While learning more about street sales and just sales in general.
Yeah, guys, just extra
so,
cash.
If you're interested or for more information, send them an email at ourlaniwater@gmail.com. It's written below, ourlaniwater@gmail.com. You can also get them at LANI Water on Facebook and LANI Water 2020 on Instagram.
On the
LANI
IG.
Water, and they have the same.
the Slay
They have
Queens.
the same quality water like before.
It's quality.
It's just the new logo and the new brand strategy.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're gonna be shooting.
Rebranding.
They're gonna be shooting a ad soon. Yeah, and they have merch. Like you can see my
knows?
T-shirts. I must get you some merchandise.
Yeah, I
Let's get you some merchandise. Yeah, so it's LANI Water 2020 on Instagram and it's LANI Water on Facebook. You can also send
LANI
them
Water.
an email at ourlaniwater at gmail.com. Hashtag LANI Water 2020. It's been a minute.
It's been
2022. Sorry, I said 2022 this time. Ne?
Yeah.
Because we're coming back next year. They're coming back next year. Yeah.
In 4 weeks.
I want us to start with J. Cole.
4 weeks.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat
Travis
it.
Scott.
Travis Scott.
You've been coaching J. Cole. J. Cole is
Really?
a pastor.
Even before?
Yeah, J. Cole is a pastor. J. Cole is someone calm.
Travis Scott, because when I
Yeah.
saw the story trending, I even asked you and you said we're gonna speak about it when we meet.
When we meet.
I think that one was sacrificial. This is just what I think, in fact. And allegedly everybody's saying that was sacrificial. People that were there as well, they're saying, they were feeling evil spirits and all around. And there's this particular video that I saw of J. Cole where he was Travis Scott. You know I'm not into rap, so Travis Scott. Every time I say J. Cole, it's Travis Scott.
Guys.
Travis Scott. So what's your take, bro? What do you think? That particular video, there he was making fun himself, while people were dying.
I mean, guys, even my social medias are written, I'm atheist. So if it's anything with religion,
His other
belief.
name is atheist.
No, it's me.
Okay.
I'm atheist. So anything with belief, I go against. I don't believe. So that was a sacrifice. Mari, I think people were reckless. I think the show itself was reckless. I mean, there's a kid who's 14 years old at such an event, you know. That's why I my age restrictions. The cities for 21 in my event in, because these guys are still kids. Like into ungaiboni understand them. If you're a kid, you should not be involved in such. So I blame the security. I blame Travis himself. The show his show is tighter. But behind every man, behind every successful person, there's a team behind you. And if your team is not consistent, then we're gonna find shit like this. Because internet event.
Yes, but
it's the first
video
against
people quoting it, if not quote, but referencing to it.
Yeah.
Where he was crowd surfing. and then some kid took his shoe, I think.
Yeah.
And then he was
it's,
encouraging the crowd to beat up the kid for taking the shoe.
Yeah, like it's a culture hip hop.
So also sacrificing people is culture of hip hop.
No,
because you
no.
know the reason
You get crowding. So when like my artist, my crowding, if you can change cell phones as keep a car, and then we are a cap ni patch. Most of the time, if baso catch, cap like will lose. So Mabaglande is statue, that's when a rapper fights. It's just like a culture of your event. And also like Travis in taxi event he's had like event in 100,000. This is only 50,000. I think people were reckless because like so I think because like abantu basafari COVID for such a long time, I think we even forgot like the normal procedures. I think the way like ama event besegna space in between ama events abantu besebayenzela ukuyenza imali yabona.
And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I think you're also a rapper yourself.
Yeah.
I think
Cool T.
like I think bro, like looking at everything,
Yeah.
I think these are the conversations that we need to have, because people that were there are fans.
Yeah.
So you can't be a fan and then say something that will make the artist that you're a fan of look like bad. You get what I'm saying?
I understand. You can't contradict what you follow.
So if I'm a fan and I'm in your concert, right?
Yeah.
I'm your fan, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm your fan. I wouldn't want to say something that will make you go down the drain or that will pull you down.
Okay.
So whatever it is that they're saying, it's something that they know because they're there. I saw a video of someone that concert was so evil. I was feeling bad spirits and stuff. And I want us to speak about the sacrificing of people because it's something that happens, especially in South Africa. It happens.
In the world.
The world, yes. But mostly in South Africa because we introduced to the culture. Now we know. Back then, bro, we didn't know about sacrificing. We didn't know about snakes. We know that there's something called uktwala, but we didn't know how it really happens. You get what I'm saying? I know there's a young artist like yourself who wants exposure, who wants to be like Nasty C, for instance, and when you wake up and you realize that there's a way of getting there quicker, it's just hold a concert of maybe 100 people, because you can pull a crowd of 100 people and make sure that 50 people of those people die. And then that's sacrificing people for your snake or for your evil spirits or for whatever it is that you're feeding at that particular time. So I wanted to speak about it that a lot of young artists in South Africa are not consistent, and not only artists but everybody in general.
Even politicians,
Even politicians, because now there's no jobs. Imagine you are a rapper, you love what you're doing, but you know that there's no gigs. Anytime the government can decide that we're going back to level 5 or whatever the case is, and there's no gig. And if someone comes to you and tells you, I have a snake for you, the snake will enable you to get everything that you want to get in the space of 6 months, to get to where STC is in a space of 6 months. So a lot of people are not consistent, and a lot of people want to get there quicker than like just in a blink of an eye, like you already there. So that's why I really wanted us to talk about it.
Okay, I understand. So like it's like crime, you know, like I think
you're comparing it to crime.
Yeah, because you look for the easiest or for a way that is like way better for you, which like when I figure out with the final stage.
Okay.
So what people forget, which anything that you go through in life, what makes it special, it's not the outcome, it's the process. So goal.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Goal in soccer, we don't celebrate it ngokuthi like goal. We celebrate it ngokuthi lenzakale kanjani. So there are people like Abu Cristiano Ronaldo, the Lionel Messi's. When they score a goal in a spectacular manner. This is why these people are more famous than any other footballer. So it's not ukuthi nabanye ukhona uDino Ndlovu phesitawo banibani, they score goals, but they don't score goals in the way that those people score goals. It's the same way as rap. we all rap, but there are few who rap like Eminem, there are few who rap like J. Cole, Travis, Kendrick Lamar, and so on. Just like in politics, we have Abu Mandela, Nabo Jacob Zuma. It's not the outcome, it's the process. Because Manga Pega in the history books, there are few history books written about the time Nelson Mandela was president compared to the time written about the process of Nelson Mandela becoming president of South Africa. We have more focus on the process of him becoming the president more than we were focused on when he was president. There are few things we know about what happened in SA when Nelson Mandela was president compared to when like he was
became the
in the process during apartheid and so forth. So everyone wants to skip that process, and this is when more skip a leo process maso itola leonto. It doesn't give you the same happiness or the same, I don't know, but the same, I can say happiness or the same feeling as compared to when you could have gotten that thing in a harder way. Because like kufana njengo pass, if ukopile wapasa, it's obvious. Akusinto ukuthi like bo expected something different. Mar if you went there, you wrote and you passed, ibani like it has some kind of meaning to you. No more I feel mar inaleyo meaning ukuthi ngwazile ukubhala ngigelezile ngaphasa that thing. So I feel even in every aspect of life, Zamuk find the easiest way, and other people go to the extreme easiest way, which by it all.
Yeah, man. If it's working for them, I think they should just continue with it. If it's working for them, they should continue with it.
As long as singing as harmy.
Yeah, it harms you because if you're a fan of Travis Scott and you were there, you could have easily died. You're standing in the chance of dying. And a disclaimer: we're not saying Travis Scott is sacrificing people.
We're just talking about what's happening on the
Exactly.
internet.
How did you feel about the FW de Klerk's death?
Like, the guy to me has been dead. Like, I go check on the like he's been dead. There is no influence got FW de Klerk in the 21st century. The only thing it did was between 1990 and 1999. Those 9 years were the best 9 years of his life. Other than that, there is not. I don't feel there is something emeling ibonge for FW de Klerk. Like, I don't feel Uguchi for Uguchi during his tenure apartheid ended. Then I should thank him. If we as a history, you know why apartheid ended. It's because the apartheid government was falling. That's why you put people were disinvesting in the apartheid government, and then Babonu Abelungu would say, no, it's time for change. Issue. So I don't thank FW de Klerk for who keep Abu Mandela and all of those things. It was something that was going to happen, regardless of which FW de Klerk Mr. de Villiers, but Ninto Bezo and apartheid Bezo Pel.
Yeah.
So I just think Uguchi he was there, like we have initiated. Yeah, Uguchi he was the face. There's nothing about his death. He's just another politician dead, you know.
I think I think whoever it is that orchestrated apartheid was so good.
Yeah, it's the white people. It's the same thing in Shogomanya podcast.
It's the white people, right?
Yeah.
But I mean
the way it was put
orchestrated,
into place.
Yes.
Which, and by saying that comment section we are supporting apartheid, no. Like to every bad thing, gune strategy side. That's why Konamanje, one of the best movies, one of the best series in today's age, Money Heist. At the end of the day, those guys are criminals.
Come to think of it, I've never watched Money Heist in my life. I don't know why. But you can
hype. But everyone likes it. Saying about this, like Nasema movie, we like things which are extreme. Like into a harmful, abo Halloween, abo scary movie, abo cheapers creepers, all of those things. These are movies where Sbona like Impile Omunte Hamba. Gune strategy to that essence ukuthi like uzuyithanda. Angithi apartheid ngithandile, but if like apartheid was used as a tool to enrich everyone, it would have been the most best
enrich
political
everyone.
system.
How so? Please explain that.
Like
if you were I hate to say it, but if you were white and there's an opportunity to create apartheid and make it benefit everybody,
Yeah.
how would you have like what's the word?
Orchestrated
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what everyone focuses on apartheid is how whites treat black.
Okay.
Don't focus, like, don't name people. Focus on the strategy that the whites used to oppress the blacks.
Okay.
So, for example, every white person was working. So when like you were done with school,
Yes.
if you didn't have like a corporate job, it's either you join the military or you join the mines, any kind of hard labor.
If you were white.
If you were white.
Okay.
And then let's look at what white people did in those mines.
Okay.
Most of the white people in the mines were not mine workers. They were mine managers.
Okay.
So it means these people had some kind of education system, right?
Okay.
So for these people to become managers or for them to run businesses, they needed to have some sort of education, which means the apartheid government invested not only in the jobs and everything, but they also invested in the education system they had.
Okay.
This is
For
why,
white people.
yeah, this is why there is Ibantu education and there was that Model C kind of like white privilege schools.
Okay.
So if like on the contrary that system was used for everyone, it would be a very beneficial system. Like if khona manje singathatha i-syllabus yase private school and nationalize it and use it in every school, don't we think ukuthi every child, whether black, colored, Indian, white, will have the same education system? Every white child ufunde i-Macbeth.
Okay.
Every white child was South Africa ufunde South Africa ufunde incwadi abathi Macbeth.
Okay.
Mari, not every child ose South Africa oye ofunde isiZulu had the opportunity ukuthi abe ne isolezo. You understand? Yes. So if we are able ukuthi singabi nokuthi no, this is for black people living in Gauteng, this is for black people living in Natal, sibene this is for black people. That's when sizoba equal. Singabi nokuthi this is a black person with 1,000 on IG, this is a black person with 35 on IG. Let's have this is a black person, this is a black person, this is the opportunity. Ngoba mongabheka abantu abamnyama on themselves, they create opportunities but segregate certain parts of black or certain groups of black people. Ngoba njengabantu abamnyama sifana, we have black people living in the rurals, we have black people living in the townships,
yes.
We have black people living in the towns, we have black people living in the suburban areas.
Okay.
And if you can look at how we treat one another, it's really disgusting because umuntu onemali ohlale Gauteng or someone with a very expensive phone or someone with a lot of followers omnyama uzonyinyifatsa or abhekele phansi omunye umuntu omnyama ohlale eKasi.
Hence I was saying
mari boyithu abantu abamnyama they face the same struggle.
Hence I was saying apartheid was so good.
Yeah,
I personally blame apartheid for that because it was, I think what a lot of people don't understand, that the killings of black people that was happening, the brutality, the lack of opportunities for black people,
it was
only the beginning.
Yeah.
The after effects are the ones that are most powerful. To think that you, as my brother, I see you as nothing because you don't have the things that I have. I see you as inferior because you don't own an iPhone 12 or you don't live in Sandton like I do. You don't shop in certain city like I do. Not understanding that all these things that I've just counted, we as black people don't own even one of them. We don't own Sandton City. We don't own Apple. We don't own Microsoft. We don't own MultiChoice. So it was, I think if they had a chance, both de Klerk and all the other guys, Mo van Vierer or whatever the case is, if they had a chance of choosing if they continue with apartheid or they don't, they will still wish to end apartheid because they knew that they have enforced that psychological effect of apartheid in our minds.
So I'm gonna use like something I call a bad example to make good of it.
Okay.
So Eskela, we are categorized so that we know what we are going to be in life as black students. Okay. So kunabantwana eskela khona manje khona umntwana okhulumayo ongaphasi. Labo bantwana babiza ngokuthi lo mntwana odome eklasini angithi. Kunomntwana who gets everything, umntwana oclever eklasini. So the clever child from the beginning of uqala iskolo until maybe tertiary is going to be given full attention. Ane? By meaningful attention, it means community is going to encourage this person ukuthi you got something, you can be something in life. Ane?
Yes.
2, from their parents or from their families. This is, I'm not saying everyone who's clever, or everyone who's black, who's poor, and who has some kind of like IQ, intellectual knowledge or higher IQ is facing this, but this is happening to majority of people. Ne? Number 2, it's going to come from the parents or from the family. Ukuthi kuzoba nokuthi like Olani sakwazi uslim, we're expecting big things from you, and it's not only now the community, it's and then you're going to have that kind of pressure from also your peers. Ngoba bayibona ukuthi into yenziwa abantu abadala ngithi they believe ukuthi no uXolani because abomem nabazali bethu bathu clever, he has to be something. That puts pressure on that individual. Okay. So let's just assume you do what you do, you become something. Whether it's a lawyer, whether a football player, but something like something that's going to take you out of the community. What is it? What does that good thing happening to you lead to? At least 2-3 things. Number 1, gini bazothi Olani no so yaspana or Olani so vele TV. So 1, 2, 3 has to come from you.
Black tax.
That's
what we call it, yes.
Then it's going to come the community. TV, but you're not giving back to your community. And now, because you are human, at the end of the day, you're going to feel some kind of guilt. And then you're going to go to a kaslako, create charity cases, even though you can't afford them. So this is never minding ukuthi now Olani in the way ukuthi athene lezinto khona umuntu othandane nayo, maybe you have a kid or something, and like now usasena nama needs akho as an individual, and then it's going to come back to the peers you had and the peers you have. So kunabantu ababe abangani bakho before the fame, before and everything.
Yes.
And these are people who...
And this is just an example. I'm not famous. Yeah.
And these are people who feel they are entitled mostly. Why? Because Bagwaze before, they feel they had some kind of like input in you becoming whatever you are because they were in your life. And now you feel obliged, which I have to help 1, 2, 3 because Besva 1, 2, 3 sends 1, 2, 3. Ne? Never minding Uguchi, you both got the same equal opportunities. You are both from the same community. The only difference between when and I is Uguchi, na magapumele strate na yodlala, when I got to no phone. Okay. That's the difference. Okay. And then what's going to happen to you, Uguchi, you're just going to look for a way to escape all of them or to fulfill all of them in the quickest manner. So this is when people run to corruption. This is when people do bad things for just to attain imali. What I'm trying to show you, Uguti, as black people, we put pressure on individuals. In the apartheid system, bengu expect ukuthi Mr. De Villiers uzobuya sentin apatalele wonke umuntu ohlala sentin indlu. Abuye futhi akade the most poorest person esentin or the poorest person ekaslake, at the same time take care of his family, at the same time take care not only of that the family he's built, but the family he's coming from, his mother's family, his father's family, his relatives. You see, so as black people, we put pressure on an individual, but in the apartheid system, the government put the pressure in on itself to make sure which it caters for everyone. But when you cater for everyone, you eliminate a black tax. You eliminate the friends, but the friends will be catered for. You eliminate the family because the family will be catered for. You also eliminate what else did I quote? I said it's the friends, the family, and then society. Yourself. Yeah, yes. Yourself.
But okay, I get that.
Yeah.
And I think this is what I think, and I believe in so much. I can stand for it so much. The reason why us as black people, you Kulti, you rapping, maybe in the next 5 years you become an STC. The reason why I would expect you to come and donate in a particular school is because I personally believe it's the apartheid system and the psychological effects of it.
Yeah.
We didn't have all these beautiful things. We didn't have Bonus DC. We didn't have these big actors that we have today. We didn't have the rappers. We didn't have actresses. We didn't have all these big things that we're having today.
Yeah.
And we're having them now because we have our freedom. Now that we're exposed to something that we didn't have for such a long time, we feel entitled to it. So much that if you are who's the biggest actress or actor right now? If you are Stella Tellez, if you Stella Tellez, I would legit expect you to do something for them.
Yeah, and he's still upcoming. He's not yet made it.
He has.
He's not.
I think he has.
Teddy has one hit in the Comora. And
What
then
about the
akhona.
music?
Music ukhona mari. So like njengoba sisho umbiza ngoThedi for ukuthi fana njengosibusiso Dlomo uactile yonke indawo mari for ukuthi ube
The hit
usibusiso
was
Dlomo.
generation.
Yeah.
So
So because of that,
The hit
then
matters,
sure,
right?
Yeah, the hit. And the makuleyo the hit unama process because mangabheka uThedi bese ngamazi before iGomora. Even though asisho ukuthi beyangasebenzi before iGomora, he was working on what he was working on.
Theatre,
And
which is
from
theatre.
lapho bekaneyinkinga zakhe. He had debts to pay, he had things to do ngale mali le he's getting right now because of the fame he's attaining.
Okay.
And the pressure we are putting him under, I'm allowing ukuthi abe flexible. I'm allowing ukuthi he should reach his potential. Because mongabheka, everyone is working so hard to change their background. No one is working so hard to continue a legacy. Everyone wants to start an empire. You understand? So we are all poor. We are all working towards building an empire. And the way we've been so marginalized in Jongobusha during apartheid, there is no one of us oqhubekayo except for those who we know. Abafana njengabo Tutuzane Zuma. Those guys are rich, but they didn't work to be rich. They're just continuing an empire. Yabo Zuma. Into like I told you from the parents, he was already
So
rich.
how do we change that? Because now I believe it's a psychological thing, bro. That's what I've been trying to explain. It's a psychological thing that was enforced by the apartheid government when we were colonized.
Yeah.
That if you are a black person, hence I was saying, if you are a mayor of Johannesburg, right, and you have 300 million in the account to make sure that Johannesburg becomes a great city,
Yeah.
right? And you're thinking, you see this 300,000 in your account, and you have to choose between providing for your family, for your relatives, and making sure that you drive that Ferrari. And by the way, statistics show that 89% of the people that drive Ferraris and those big cars, fancy cars, they don't drive them because they believe they're good for them, but they drive it because every time I'm driving a Ferrari and I'm coming to DK Kaslak, everybody will be like, "Whoa,
Yeah, it's out.
It's a psychological
Yeah, it's
thing.
out.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying we need to, and remember this started with the death of W. de Klerk.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I think that as South Africans and as black people in general, we need to come down and have a psychological discussion.
Yeah, a civil
discussion,
Yeah.
and have every religious member sangomas,
every platform. I
every
feel we
platform,
have
every
we should
platform.
have like a representative of the best person, the best black person in every platform.
Yes.
So we have the best black politician with the best black sports person, with the same black best black like rapper or best black musician, and all, so that these people discuss issues which are common to them. Because if like we are black, I feel we face the same kind. Because ayinandaba, like for example, imeda ayinandaba ukuthi una 13 una 14, at the end of the day imeda. Mele ifane njengabantu abamnyama. Ukuthi una 30 una 40 umnyama kakhulu umnyama kancane uhlala esentini uhlala eDiepkloof at the end of the day we are black. Like we need to, until we understand that and we embrace that, there won't be change.
But how are we gonna embrace our blackness if, for the longest of time,
It's the separation,
all-
I think.
yes, the separation
Yeah.
also, now that we get to go in Dubai, for instance, and have the time of our lives, we think that, because hence I'm always thinking that everybody that is talking about soft life, they don't understand what it is. It's just that now we're able to go into spaces
understand
that are
the-
dominated by white people.
Yeah,
Now that
yeah.
we think that immediately we're there, we have
are
left
them.
the you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
the-
soft,
the-
there's a difference
the
between,
hardness, that's
there's
the
legit a difference between a soft weekend and a soft life. Because a soft
Eish.
weekend is you going to Dubai for
Eish.
that weekend and coming back to work for that weekend that you've spent.
Yeah.
But a soft life is what white people have been having for all these years.
Yeah.
For the since colonization, apartheid, and all those things. It's
And the
something that they've been
Mongapega-
having for
Mongapega,
the rest of their life.
every good thing about the world has white people.
Exactly my point.
Like in Dubai, the Saudis and the Arabians were not good until white people saw the oil in their land.
Okay.
Africans were not important
So black people
until
were
there
living
were
in Dubai
minerals.
and
No, ngitama Arabians.
Oh, okay.
Those Kula guys. Angithi
Yeah.
they were once seen as like terrorists and the guys who wanted to end the white race. But as soon as the white race learned of the minerals, the oil they can get from these countries, these guys suddenly became, because we Africa ngithi, all this time with the gold and the minerals and the what. This is why South Africa, and like sengiyibone nange sports, this is why South Africa hosted the World Cup in 2010. This is upege, like there is always something important about a certain country so that there is white investment in that country. Mongapega the Iraqi war or Vietnam war, it was the United States is far country because they benefited something from those countries. Why is America in Africa? There is in certain countries, there is something they are benefiting from that country. The reason why America wants to have diplomatic ties with Russia manje, it's because outside America ne Russia, it's only China. And the nearest country or the largest country in the Asian European geographic spectrum is Russia. And Mongapega, Russia, there are some parts of Russia adjacent to China. So always America, when it has like an investment or a relationship with a certain country, it's for certain benefits of those countries. And those people don't see those benefits until the whites, the Americans, the Europeans have exploited whatever good they have. Because konamanje, we don't have any Arabic politician. Angithi. Wait until the oil is going to run dry or until Dubai is no longer a major city. Because kube ne Johannesburg in New York ikhona. Kwaba ne Dubai in New York ikhona. Kwaba ne Beijing in New York ikhona. Moscow, New York ikhona. So what is the common denominator? The whites continue being there, but the places change. The trend changes. Because before there was a gold rush, every white person wanted to end, or every person on earth wanted to end up owning something in Africa because they were building mines, digging gold, and all of those things. But now every person wants to move to Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, all of those nice cities. Why? Because everyone sees the investment in those cities.
Speaking about Dubai, and I think this will lead us to what we wanted to talk about, because I had a story of how young black girls, young South African girls, are taken to Dubai, and they are being forced to, not forced, but they are being
Coerced, yeah. Their choice is not theirs, but it's influenced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Coerced, yeah.
Coerced.
You
When they
coerced
do it
someone.
today, it's coerced. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
you push someone to making that choice.
Exactly. They are forced. They are being shed on.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah,
shits
I
in your
heard.
face.
I heard that. I saw someone urinating on someone's face.
Imagine. And the person that was speaking about it, because he classifies himself as being a international blesser, whatever the name is saying they don't force them, but I think psychologically they're
it's
being
coerced.
forced
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why.
they're being coerced. I learned a new name today,
Yeah.
coerced. So when I meet you in the streets, I'll be like, "Awe tabang, I'm coerced."
You coerced someone.
I'm coerced.
Yeah.
So they, and I was thinking, bro, I think this is what I think, because there's also a story of this guy who was found in his room with remains of someone in the freezer. You heard that story?
No.
There was a guy.
I heard there's a guy who with a girlfriend. The girlfriend found.
The girlfriend found.
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard it on the radio.
Yes, that story, and I'm thinking, I think.
Yeah.
And I want
My
you to-
apologies, I'm still listening. Hey, just because I'm not on screen, I'm still listening.
Yeah.
You can talk.
And what I was what I'm thinking is
Yeah.
a lot of people are fighting the wrong battle when it comes to gender-based violence.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are fighting the wrong battle when it comes to gender-based violence. Because when you think about it, gender-based violence and femicide doesn't start when me as Olani I kill my girlfriend. Or when me as Olani I beat my girlfriend up. It doesn't start there. It starts with the little things that we constantly invest in and the little things that we are failing to address. If
Yeah.
you plant a tree today, in the next week it won't be a tree, it will just be a little plant. And if you want to kill that plant, you just pull it from the roots and it dies. But if you're living for the next 5 years, it becomes a tree and it has branches.
Yeah,
You will need
and it's so
machinery.
large that
It's so large.
you need machinery.
You need
to-
machinery to cut it.
Yeah.
I think we have failed to address gender-based violence at its smallest roots. Now that it's become this big thing, it's gonna be almost difficult
And the Onkumuntu-
to addressing it
Yeah.
because
That's why I'm going to say go.
next month it will be a different story
Yeah.
of someone that has killed their girlfriend,
Or their wife.
and when you think about it, previously before this particular incident, we never had anything about gender-based violence. We never had anything about femicide. It's not a consistent thing. We're keeping quiet when it's not happening. But
Yeah,
when it
and we
happens,
talk
you will
when
find
it
people
happens.
that will
It trends. Even celebrities.
Yes, will come and then say this is
They
bad,
post about
this,
it
this,
when
this,
when
this,
it's
this.
trending. Like the way I'm saying, it's the same thing I'm saying about America and like using other countries. We focus on what's trending or what's important. This is why we can't solve black issues. We focus on poor people when there is an event South Africa has to host, because we don't want the people we are inviting to see that South Africa has poor people. We focus on genocide when like the case is involving someone prominent or someone so beautiful that the internet believes that person shouldn't have died. There are people who are dying even at this moment. There is a girl who was killed. There is a girl who's been raped. We do not focus on those issues until they make television or until some celebrity sheds light on in it. So that's when we can't solve the issue. We don't face corruption until it's elections. You understand?
Wow, that's deep.
We don't face political parties until there is like some sort of like corruption, or we believe there is like we don't like I beg mali, so say now we must focus on the corruption in the country.
That's deep.
On the days le mali le ingena besenzana. On the days, because it's not like imali yangena and then the government is like yeah say George. If that was the case, there will be direct accountability. What happens with le mali yahlala in some government treasure? Little by little, it's taken for per project, because I don't believe which government creates a tender and then looks for funding. The government looks for funding, there is investment, and then the tender is created for so that the funds which have been invested are invested to the government are allocated to that project. Into iqala kwi-idea and then builds up to ama-actions. The same thing with gender-based violence. Akusinto guys emele si-address mayenza into emele si-address every day. Black lives matter every day. Women lives matter every day. Kids lives matter 365 Majita.
Stop.
365.
Stop killing women and children in our society.
And men too, man. As a woman, you can't say because you are like, I think we should, I don't know, it's the same thing with our politicians. I think as South Africa, we should grow up, guys. Like there is something we have to face. And I guess it's a parliament. We ask which when you are president, you are seen as the #1 citizen in that country. Imagine if a president gets what the Julius. Like we can't face overall what happens, but at the end of the day, those are people who like we've sent they should take good care of us. These are people who there is so much money being put into like keeping them safe. But those guys are doing whatever they want. There is a corruption to a way like.
But you can't blame them. You must blame the ruling party.
Sengisho yona leyo corruption senzakala ngendlela yokuthi sayihleka. Like load shedding started as something vague and we normalized it. Sekuyinto like esibheka ku internet load shedding. Load shedding again. Akusase into esithatha serious. Come on guys. We need to stand up. Like mongabheka what would have happened if load shedding was happening to black people during apartheid? Do you think we would have load shedding khona manje? If corruption was happening through Abo Mandela during the NC at the level it is, angithi bengekho during apartheid, mara ngithi at the level, at the peak level ekuyo khona manje, enzwa abo Cyril, abo Jacob Zuma. Do you think ukuthi ngabe isayenzeka at the same level khona manje if it had happened in the 1970s, in the 1980s? Ngoba mongabheka, even killing of politicians has decreased since apartheid because it was happening as such a large number in apartheid ukuthi yaze yalwela. Come on guys, we need to take action. Abantu ngeapartheid were there ntwana yami. Makuyito every student was there. That's why khona manje mongaya kumagogo wakho who was there during apartheid uzoba nestory angakutshela sona nge-riot angithi if in 50 years from now so thatha wonke umuntu ozoba na 60 70 simbuza ukuthi what was your fight against the gender based, what was your fight against corruption?
There will be no answer.
It's the same thing I'm saying. There is no involvement yet in a song.
There's no unity.
Yeah,
okay.
see separated. See, I'm cool, I'm fine. As long as it doesn't affect me. Wait until it's your mother being beat up in the streets, or your sister, or even your own child.
Yeah.
Because HIV, if you don't have HIV and AIDS, you know someone affected by HIV and AIDS.
If you're not infected,
yeah,
you're affected.
Yeah.
On a lighter note though, it's been deep.
It's been deep, guys.
Prodigal Gun Studios are looking for young people who have brand-based businesses for an opportunity to get a free ad shot by Prodigal Gun Studios. I hope I'm saying their name right.
It's Portal. I think it's Portal Gun.
Portal. Oh, Portal.
It's Portal.
Yes.
Portal Gun Studios.
Okay. Portal Gun Studios is looking for young people who have brand-based businesses.
Yeah.
So if you have LANIwater, you have LANI Sap, you have a clothing brand, and if your business is brand-based, for an opportunity to get a free ad by Portal Gun Studios, they can.
Yeah, guys. The business shouldn't be most about guns. Like any brand. If
yes,
like it's a clothing brand.
Portal Gun Studio is like, the name. Yes, it's just the name.
Just a brand, guys. You know.
Yes. You can use the ad to grow your brand and your clientele on the social media pages. Or if you have enough money, you can just put the ad on TV. To get this opportunity, you can contact us on thisislaniTV@gmail.com. That's the email of this particular
It's right
page.
here, guys.
Yes,
it's right
I'll put it here. This is LANITV@gmail.com. Or you can get us on our social media pages at Born Freeze Podcast everywhere.
Everywhere.
Facebook and Instagram.
TikTok,
Facebook,
everywhere, guys.
So they came to me and I was like, nah, let me pass on the opportunity because I was feeling so generous. So if you have any brand, whatever it is the brand that you
wanna
have,
push,
send us an email or to this is LANI TV.
or even here you can comment and tell us, and then maybe we can have some people contact you straightly, directly. Comment below in the comments.
Okay.
Tell us you're interested on this social media marketing. It's for brands.
Yes.
This is us
Giving back to the
it's not
community.
giving back, it's preaching what it's actually doing what we are preaching, because we
Okay,
are all about
yeah.
empowering black people.
That's
So
key.
yeah. Now Mofuna, if you have an ad where a black person, whether your business has 1,000, your business has 100, your business has 10, come to us. We are not about ukuthi umuhle kanjani, umubi kanjani, how many followers. We are just here to make sure ukuthi we all eat, because if we don't all eat, then my brothers
all
and
starve.
sisters are starving
Yes.
while I'm eating.
The email
We are
is
not
this.
rich.
This is lanitv@gmail.com. This is lanitv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Born Freeze Podcast, Instagram at Born Freeze Podcast. It's been great.
yeah.
Please don't forget to like, comment,
Subscribe and share.
Yes, leave a comment for us, because a lot of people on that previous episode where you were, they shared some great feedback.
Yeah, guys, we acknowledge the feedback and we appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
We like it because
Five
in
colors
that
and
way,
12 colors.
we appreciate it because, guys, if you are able to engage, it shows ukuthi we have discourse in society and there are things we need to discuss. If you are someone with a podcast or someone with an idea, you can contact LANI TV or the Born Freeze podcast and tell us about your issues. Who knows, we might be discussing your kasi, we might be discussing your issue next. Until then, as I know you with LANI.
We are out.